Welcome to Competitive Analysis for SEO. It's brought to you by Wix in collaboration with SEMrush. My name is Mordy Oberstein. I'll be your host today or tonight, depending on your time zone. Aside from being your host, I'm also the official SEO liaison here at Wix. Joining us today is not only a dear friend of mine, she is the founder of LP Marketing Inc. She is the former director of SEO at Outbrain. She is an industry speaker. She speaks at all the SEO conferences from SMS to Brighton SEO. She's an international SEO and content consultant. She is, as she is here, a representative of SEMrush in many webinars, and she is considered an organic competition analysis expert, which makes a great deal of sense as to why she's here today. She is Liraz Postan. Hi, Liraz.
Wow, what an intro. I'm impressed. I didn't know everything about myself.
I practiced all night. Oh, I forgot. She has 13 years of experience in the SEO industry. Now I got it all.
Oh, thank you. I thought I missed something.
Sorry.
Wow, really honored to be here. So I really hope that everyone will understand everything that we're going to talk about. And after this conversation, they will know how to do competitive analysis for their website. So I'm really honored to lecture everything that all my knowledge away.
Amazing. So before I hand the reins over to Liraz, and before I go through some of the procedures for this evening or this afternoon or this morning, whatever time zone you're in, I don't even know anymore. I want to talk about very quickly the importance of doing organic competitive analysis or competitive analysis for SEO. So obviously, it's really important to know who your competitors are on the Google results page, or in SEO lingo, we call it the SERP, which stands for Search Engine Results Page, because you need to know who your competitors are because Google's really important. However, to me personally, I find that competitive analysis, aside from being the starting point from doing really strong SEO, is also the starting point to offering up your brand identity, your brand presence on the results page. And what do I mean by that? When you look and see what the sites that Google is showing on the results page for the audience, for the users that you want to visit your site, when you see what content Google is putting in front of the very target audience that you want to come to your site, it gives you an idea of what's out there and where you might fit into this conversation, let's call it. Where do you fit in? Where is it possible for you to add added value, real added value, unique value to your target audience? So yes, while understanding your competitors on Google is really good for, beating your competitors. We all want to beat our competitors. We get that. And finding new opportunities. It's also a really good place for you to start. And as ironic as it may sound, to start thinking about differentiating yourself from your competitors. Where can I be better than my competitors? Where can I offer the user, my target audience, something really unique? And that's really great for your audience, for your potential consumers. And it's also that having that unique identity and the unique added value is also really great for search engines. But that's a very different conversation for a different time, hopefully. Okay. With that, I will now hand it over to my dear friend, Liraz.
Hey.
The floor is yours.
Yes. Okay, cool. So I'm really honored to be here, and I want to get started with the competitor analysis. I personally have to say that I will not try to sell SEMrush. Basically, I will do everything in my best just to share my knowledge of how I'm using SEMrush with let's say 1 hour of work instead of doing just manual work that can take me days and even weeks to do competitive analysis. So for me, it's my go-to. Basically, every single day, even a couple of times a day, I'm just doing everything on SEMrush. From rankings to competitive analysis to site audits, it's my go-to tool. So let's get started. I want to explain what is competitor analysis and why basically we need it. First, hello, this is me, Liraz Postan, 13 years of SEO. In the industry, I'm delighted to share my knowledge here today. I think it's a call for everyone that's basically is working with Wix websites, and I know how tremendously you need this knowledge in your toolkit, let's say. And I want to talk about it. What is the competitive analysis and why you basically need it and how to get started? We're going to talk about each steps here in the presentation, and let's go and understand. Well, competitive analysis means that you need to study your direct competitors to see what's working for them and how you can leverage it for your own strategy. Meaning, First, I just need to understand who my competitors are, and then I can just make good assumptions on how can I adjust my own strategy. Maybe I'm missing out on things, and maybe I can be inspired of things that they're doing. Because sometimes it can be like overwhelming. I have competitors, they're like huge brands. I don't know how to tackle it, but you can. If you're a small organization and you have, you don't need all this bureaucracy in the background, you can just launch things very fast. And so don't be afraid to just act. And so in a couple of the slides, I will show you how to act and how to create a proper strategy and how to minimize your gap with your competitors. So why we need it? First, we need to identify market trends and patterns. If all my competitors are doing something and I'm not, well, it's a pattern. They're doing something and I'm missing out. I'm out. I need to understand what am I missing out. And first, I need to understand if they have recognized a trend, or maybe they're inventing a trend. I would want to see what they are doing. We want to optimize our strategy. Basically, we need to optimize our strategy all the time. We have everything new here in the digital marketing. Everything is new. COVID time is not the same as 1 year ago. It's not really the same. And it's not going to be the same 1 year later. And it's not going to be the same in 2 months from now. So we always need to adapt our strategy over and over again. Or you need to close the opportunity gap between me and my competitors all the time. We need to understand how we can close our gaps and be, let's say, one step above them about what they're doing. So let's first understand who are my competitors. We have, let's say, we're surrounded by competitors, right? We have lots of competitors, but let's try and tackle two of the types of the competitors. We have direct competitions, which are basically people that are selling on websites that are selling the same product as mine. Pretty similar product. You can argue about the quality. You can argue who's doing it better or which brand is better, but basically it's the same product. And indirect competition, basically, it's a similar product than me, similar product than me, or basically they're serving in the different country. Let's say I have a bracelets that are just for UK market, like really, on the bracelet you have like a curve UK map. But we have the same for Canadian bracelets. So these are the same product, but serving a different country. So basically, we're not competing with each other. It's not a direct threat, but I still need to take a look at what they're doing. Let's take an example, Nike. We have the direct competitions with Adidas, right? They're both serving the same product. Of course, we can argue who is better, which has the best shoe, the best running shoe, but in the end of the world, this is what they're doing. Like they are creating running shoes for athletes, for sports, for people that want fashion. These are the same thing. And they're basically serving the same countries as well. But if we look on the other side, we have bloggers, affiliates, we have different kinds of people or websites that basically selling running shoes, but they're not making them, but they still are my competitors on search results. So this is what I want to tackle. For example, if I'm going to look at this search results page, I'm going to have brands, I'm going to have bloggers, I'm going to have affiliate website, I'm going to have Quora questions, I'm going to have people also ask, if you see this picture by Google, it's basically showing me what users are asking about running shoes. I just typed in running shoes as a query here, and this is what I came out like with the US search results. And I also have Wikipedia. And Wikipedia is also my competitor because sometimes Wikipedia is ranking first on my search, let's say leading search term. And it's not, people are saying, oh man, how can I beat Wikipedia? You can. This is a matter of put your strategy in front and just do whatever you can and just beat the competition. So we have lots of different competitions. Also this, images, Google Images. Like let's say for an e-commerce website, if I type in running shoes and I go for Google Images, this is basically the user journey, right? They want to see first what is the running shoe that they're going to buy, and they want to get some inspiration if they're not really focusing on a specific brand. So they have all the options here. It's like a catalog. So if my competitors are basically doing here like a really good work with their SEO images strategy, that's it. Like I can rule this world. So we also need to understand how to tackle this strategy. And there are a lot of things that we can do in order to beat the competition. You can see here, we have Runner's World, which is a Reebok, we have Nike, we have Under Armour, we have lots of brands that we didn't see even in the search results for the same query. So take a look at everything that you need to take in terms of beating the competition for your competitors. I think let's get to work. Let's see how it's done, right? Cool. So I took Wix site, really cool website, by the way, Canary, which are basically serving, they're creating luxury candles, really cool candles, great smells, great scents. And they're basically located in Canada. And this is the main market for them. So my research is going to be focusing on Canada, but not only. Okay, so basically this is what I did. I typed in on Google CA luxury candles, and in the end, I found this top 3 competitors: the White Company, Candelarium, and Harvey Nichols. Well, if you look closely, some of them are not really my competitors, as the White Company is also selling bath products and also things like that. And Harvey Nichols also sells bags and fashion. So they're not really my core competitors. So basically I took SEMrush. If you want, we can go over to SEMrush and just see, but I just take a snapshot because I want to explain everything. So I took the Candelarium, which is pretty much the same product as a coal and Canary. And basically I just typed in, this is all you need to do. Just type in the domain name and that's it. Go to domain review. This is what you get. You get tons of data. And then you're going to ask me, oh my God, what is that? Yeah, exactly. This is the first time when you're going to do it. And then it's going to be like super easy. Just going to type in the URL and you go into domain overview and you see so many things interesting. You see that the organic traffic Candelarium is getting. You see that the countries that they are serving. You see the Canada share is not really big. US is the main market. You're going to see the organic traffic that they're getting and the trend. You can see that, I don't know, from February, they have a little bit of decline. February 2020, they have a little bit of decline with their traffic. And you see they're putting some efforts with paid traffic, meaning Google ads. So they're putting some, not much, but they're doing some Google ads. Also, the amount of backlinks. We're going to talk about backlinks in the presentation. Backlinks means how many sites are linking to my sites. Google sees backlinks as a referrals, as a credit someone gives me to my site. So we want more of these. As more that we have backlinks means the more websites are linking to me, the more websites are recommending me. So we want more of these sites. We also see that they're doing display advertising. So for me, not only Google search ads, they're doing Google display ads. Nice. So maybe if I'm not doing it, maybe I will consider doing most of these things. And I also can see what are the top keywords that they are ranking for in Google. So if you take a look, we have here the, I don't know, cactus flowers, Jonathan Adler, supposed to be like a partnership or supposed to be like a specific category for candles they may have done with them. Cool lighters, boy smells, Nest fragrances, everything that can be really nice. They're ranking pretty nice. And here you can see the search volume, meaning how many people are searching for this specific query, averagely a month for Canada, okay, specifically. So this is pretty nice. Here you can see the landing pages, meaning the pages, the content that is ranking for these keywords. And I can take a look at this and I don't know what to look at. I'm really not sure. So I'm looking at paid traffic. What are they running paid ads? What offer they want to promote? What is the text? What is the copy that they have on their ads? What is the images that they are displaying on their display media? Also, we want to check out the keywords that we just saw. What are the top keywords that are ranking? What is generating the most traffic for them? Because basically the traffic can assume us to get more conversions at the end. Maybe if I'm not doing that, maybe I'm missing out money. What is the average position that they have? If they're not really ranking, but they have tons of keywords that they rank, but they're not really ranking on first positions, so maybe they're not really generating this amount of SEO traffic, Google traffic, but maybe they're doing something different than others. We saw this partnership with Jonathan. Maybe it's something that I can do more. Maybe it's something that I can think of a way to get influencers into my, I don't know, candles, I don't know. Backlinks. How is their backlinks profile? Meaning, is there unusual links there? Is there something spammy there? If there's like a huge PR, we need to understand and dig into their backlinks to better understand. We're going to do all of this together, yeah?
Hey, Liraz, can I ask you a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
So can I do this, I'm asking rhetorically, but can I do this on my own website? plug
Oh,
in
sure.
my own websites and see exactly what's going on here as well?
Basically, the domain overview, it's just like you can type in any domain in the world.
So if I want to see where I
How
was
it's going.
ranking or my organic
Totally.
traffic, exactly. And when it comes to backlinks, I just want to point out for everybody, not all backlinks are equal. If you have and you mentioned this, you have a backlink from a site that's maybe a spammy site, that's not the best thing. You want to have backlinks from sites that are really high authoritative sites, really reputable sites, and also really relevant to what you do.
Exactly. We want to see it. We're going to see it together, like what backlinks that they have, and we're going to recognize it. This is what I meant with backlink profile. Basically, we need to understand what is the structure of it. And we need to understand what is the best content. We saw the landing pages that are ranking before. What is the best content? Is it blog pages? Is it category pages? Is it product pages? What are the main traffic that they're generating? If they're generating from blogs or article and they have tons of traffic, and I don't even have a blog, so maybe it's time for me to start and write content or hire someone for me to write this content for me and create a content strategy. And of course, also, what kinds of blogs and products, what kind of products are they trying to sell, and what is their unique selling point? For them, we saw it's luxury candles. How are they different from my other competitors or than me? And finally, we're going to talk about gaps, the keyword gap and the backlink gaps. And we're going to try and minimize the gap and see what are the opportunities for me to get. And this all can be done with just 5 clicks, which is amazing. Okay, so here we have, we're going to minimize the Zoom video. Okay, here we have the traffic analytics for Candelarium again. So I took up, took a local competitor, which is Natura Soy. I went ahead and saw that Coal and Canary are soy blend candles. So I thought maybe that can be a really good competitor for them, also based in Canada. So Natura Soy, you can see the traffic share between them. You see the Candelarium is slightly a little bit bigger than Natura Soy. You can see also they have like the graph here, how it shows like in terms of the trends of their traffic. You see that most of them, you see like a Candelarium is a little bit in decline, and you see that Natura Soy has a little bit a takeoff in January, and you see overall they have like a little bit of a positive trend with their traffic. And you can see like, let's say like a snapshot from analytics there, like here, it's like the visit duration here. You see like they have really long duration visits, and bounce rate is really good for those 2 websites. And also we can take a look at, on the sources. Here we can take a look on Candelarium traffic. We can see you have both of them have similar direct traffic. I mean, people are looking for their brand name, which is really good. You see they both don't have any referral traffic, which is interesting for me. They have good search, meaning SEO traffic, meaning organic Google search traffic. You see here, only Natura Soy has some social traffic, which is interesting for me because Candelarium probably isn't doing much on social, and paid traffic only Candelarium is doing. So this is something that's interesting for me to understand. Each of these competitors are doing something different in their strategy. And for me, this is a little bit interesting. Here I put the traffic journey for Candelarium and Natura Soy. In a bit, I will add in for this puzzle my own site called Canarium. So basically here you can see Candelarium, all the sources. They have google.com, which is SEO content, SEO traffic, direct traffic. And the direct traffic for Natura Soy, you can also see Google Paids only from Candelarium. They're using Google.com and DuckDuckGo, which is a second search engine. And they're also doing Amazon. But here with Natura Soy, I have less traffic sources. I have this website, which is probably something that sells, like probably an affiliate website for them. Or we have like Google SEO, and we have direct traffic. So this is pretty interesting. I will put in Coal Canary. Oh, and let's see the whole picture. So basically Coal and Canary is doing only SEO traffic and the Coal and Canary wholesale website, which basically I think they might be missing out on things. They might be missing out Google Paid. They might be missing out a referral website from affiliate website. They might be missing out Amazon. So here you can take a look of many things that you can basically adjust. And now we can create the gap analysis with just a click, okay? So we go into the SEMrush dashboard and we go into the keyword gap, which is here. Before we were here, we're just going into the keyword gap, inserting what we want in the domain name. This is me. This is the root domain for cat delirium. This is natura soy. And here we can just see how they overlap, meaning they have some lab, you have some shared keywords between them. We have some shared keyword that all of them are ranking together, but you can see the tremendous opportunity they might have with just missing keywords. So here, basically, SEMrush is just telling you this is top opportunity for Canary. Amazing opportunity. Yes.
Liraz, what do you mean by missing keywords?
How? This is like this. So basically, all my competitors are ranking for my keyword for these specific terms, and I don't rank for them. So that can be an opportunity for me. See here, candle store near me, they're all ranking for this. Man candles, luxury candles, candle shop, luxury candle supplies Canada. This is amazing. This is money on the floor, guys.
So these are keywords that you could be ranking for yourself should you target them in theory.
Exactly. Let's say we have 23 missing keywords. Let's see that this is amazing table for me. I'm always using it. So they're all ranking for something. You can see their positioning here on Google. You can see that Candle Calarium is luxury candles is position 6, and Natura Soy is not really there yet. But you can see the Natura Soy is ranking number 1st on wood candle, for example. And I'm not ranking on any of them. Sorry, just take a little bit of drinking.
So while you're drinking, that doesn't mean that this website isn't ranking at all. It just means for these are the keywords. I got you covered. These are the keywords that you have an opportunity should you decide to start targeting them. I mean, it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It just means that this might be a good place to focus next.
Yeah, exactly. This is an opportunity for me. I can write content for this. I can maybe open new categories. I can do a lot more of this. Basically, my competitors, my direct competition is basically ranking on these search terms, but I don't. And this is something that can help me adjust my strategy and build more content. Got it? It's okay? Okay, so what do I do with this data? Right? What do I do with it? Okay, action items. Create content. First, we can create blog posts. If I see something that is relevant to write a blog post about, for sure, go ahead. Maybe you should open a blog. That's like a whole new deal. But maybe I can write a new post about something specific. Maybe I can create new category pages, new category for products. Maybe I can create new products even, new partnerships, new something. I can get influencers to partner with me and create content marketing strategy around it. And the second thing is just to optimize everything. We need to add more competitors to follow, because we have so many more competitors. That can be just, one or two things that I want to check. We can create a keyword research and tracking and reporting all the time. I need to track and see if my actions were okay and if I got in, and just keep optimizing and report about it.
And this, by the way, because I saw somebody ask in the Q&A, this is a great way to build links, right? By building content, building really good content that people really enjoy, that's really valuable, is a great way to get links, as people will want to link to you. Imagine you did a study or you have a really nice guide to something. Well, if somebody's talking about that in their blog post or on their website, they'll link to your guide, they'll link to your study or whatever content you create. And here's Liraz on backlinks.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. Exactly. I just wanted to add in, that's really great, because if you have like a partnership, let's say, that's a new way for you to get an influencer, let's say, with you, and just to partner with you for a new line of products or something like that. That's a new way to get it viral, to get the word out there. Or if you write a good blog post that gets really good backlinks, that's amazing for you.
Yeah, look, even a category page, we'll call it a collection page, where you have a lot of your products. And if you have a really nice list of products, imagine you have the best list of jeans in the whole world. So when someone was running a blog post about where to find the best jeans, they might link to your collection page. Exactly.
And also you can see they have like a search term for man candles, stuff like that. That's a whole new category page or collection page. That is the strategy.
It's new for me, certainly.
Okay, so let's talk about the backlinks. let's first understand what is a backlink here, because we talked about it briefly. Okay, so we have like a, let's say, a strong website, let's say an authoritative website, let's say New York Times, okay? And I'm doing a PR. And for me, the PR is really great and it's not really linking back to me, just talks about me. So I would love, when I'm creating a PR, I would just want New York Times to link back to my sites. Okay, basically when I'm getting another website to link to my website, this is called a good backlink. Like, but not all backlinks are equal. When I gain those authoritative sites that can really link for me, that they really have a connection to my niche, or either a PR or like a brand, something that I want to put my brand out there. So we want to get those more of a backlinks to my sites. So basically what I've done, I took all the competitors that I created and basically compared them to Cole and Canary and saw what are the best backlinks that they have that they're not linking to me. So you can totally see that what is very, let's say, shouting here, that they have coupon sites that linking to them. A lot of your coupon sites, it's like here, you can totally see it. So I can totally assume that my competitors are doing tremendous work with coupon sites that are really, sometimes they're really, really good. And sometimes they have like authority around them. And
Can I ask you a question, Liraz?
Yeah, sure.
How do you determine that authority? How do you know? What do you do to determine whether or not this is a great link or this is maybe a link I should disavow somehow?
So first here, you can see the authority score. AS mean authority score. Also, SEMrush has these bubbles that can also explain to you everything. But here you can have the authority score. And I just like filtered it from the highest to the down to the most low authority score. And here you can see, of course, Bing.com. Of course, they have like a huge authority website. It's from 100, let's say. So this grade shows me what is a good website. And also you can take a look at the website itself. If the website itself, let's say for those coupon pages, if those websites, you see that they're not really generating any content for them, it's like clean website, doesn't really look good. The mobile is like not really responsive. You see like all these pop-ups coming in and destroying your experience. Okay, so you're gonna understand yourself it's a spam website. And we want to disavow or remove them if we can. Just contact the website owner and say, hey, can you not link me? But be nice. Okay. What do I do with this data? I have all these backlinks. What do I do with that? Act. I want to earn backlinks. I want to earn partnerships. Partnerships can bring me lots of natural backlinks. I don't need even to do a lot of efforts and just getting them. Coupon sites, which are very good coupon sites, not the examples of maybe you can see in the other slide that they're not really as authoritative. Affiliates partnership, there are really good affiliate websites and publishers that can basically publish and promote your candles, anything that you're doing. Sorry. And work on your brand name. Also do PR, put your brand out there. So this one way, when you're doing a PR work, this basically can give you some more authoritative website that can link back to your website. So what should I do? Spy. I'm so sorry, but you can spy on your competitors. You can create a site audit campaign on SEMrush. Just create site audit. I will just show you in a bit how it looks like. Just crawl your competitors. You can take a look on what are they missing out. They probably have bad broken links. They have content that they're not taking care of, content that is not generating any traffic for them. And this is how it looks like on SEMrush. Basically, I put down just a screenshot of how site audit may look, and it can give you all the grades that you need. Basically, slow pages, 404 pages, like error pages that they're not doing right. If they're doing okay with their crawlability, site performance, internal linking, all of that can give you, if the site pages of your competitor is important for them, so they might take care of them. But if something that is not really performing well for them, it's not the niche that they need to take a look. So you can see what they're not focusing on. So if something broken and they don't really care about, so it's something that you can take in and take advantage. It's just like, oh, I can take gold of it. Let's say if I have a backlink for them that is broken, I recognize a link someone is linking to their website and it's broken, you can totally contact the other website and say, hey, I saw this link is broken. You're serving bad experience. Why not linking to me? I serve the same product and my link is not broken. So this is something that you can totally do as a strategy.
Also really good is you can see when you do a crawl, you can do a crawl on your own site and do this in reverse. But
of course,
if you crawl and you see, hey, you know, this site is ranking for this keyword and the crawl comes back saying that page is thin, meaning there's not a lot of content there. That's a really good opportunity to say, you know what, I bet you if I create a much better, a higher quality page, I bet you I could rank for that page because this page is ranking and it's thin. So all of these are different ways you can find opportunity, and also find, if you do it in reverse, look for problems on your site. That might be why you're not ranking. If the other site has really prolific content and your content's a little bit thin, so it might be worthwhile to, you know, spruce up that page a little bit.
Exactly. Basically, Site Audit is an amazing tool. It gives you everything that you need to know, all the problems and all the good things that be happening on your website. So it's something that I just set up like a daily crawl, and that's it. Like I get in my mail like alerts. Hey, this page is broken. Oh, okay, I'm going to fix it. So just be alert of everything that's happening on your website and others. So we want to minimize the gap, right? We want to create the content on the keywords you find the keyword gap, and we want to create better content than them. We don't want to copy their content, for God's sake. And we don't want to make content that is thin content as they are doing. No, we want to do it better than them. We want to be more sophisticated, and we want to be able to serve like better experience. Even I can design a better landing page. I can I don't know. This is why I use Wix, right? Like I want to design like my best website, and I can do it like that. I don't need the other developer to just design and everything for me. I can do it like that. And this is the main experience that we want to choose. Also, if your website is doing very slow, so make sure you're serving the fastest landing pages. And also, we want to tackle the broken backlink. So we talked about it. If we see something that is broken on the backlink that is linking to my competitors, I'm going to reach out and ask for them to link to me. We serve the same product. I don't have any broken page. Just link to me. I'll give you the best experience. So yeah, basically all this manual work can take you weeks, right? So all this competitive analysis, it can take you, I don't know, like 30 minutes. So when you're doing everything and you're busy with your own business and you're doing other business strategy, you know, you don't want to waste your time. This is how I use SEMrush every day for site audit, for competitive analysis, just like 5 clicks, I swear to God. Okay, so this is just for summary, this tracking my competitors over time for staying ahead, right? Final words. Analyze competitors, look for ideas, trends, and more. Close the gap. We need to make use of every opportunity we see. And, you know, SEMrush is just marking you, highlighting you for top opportunities for you. So it should be very easy for you to identify it. And we need to create 10 times value content for outranking, to outrank my competitors. So just think of it as something that always need to be on the back of your mind. Do competitive analysis once a month and you're done. That's great for you. And that's it. If you have any questions, DM me on Twitter. I'm there. I'll be happy to answer anything that you have in mind.
Liraz, that was absolutely amazing.
Yay.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm loving the great questions in the Q&A and in the chat. One question I wanted to ask you about, SEMrush is a wonderful tool.
Yeah.
I personally use it all the time. There are other tools, and then, you know, not every tool is for everybody.
Sure.
So definitely take that into account and make sure you find the tool that's right for you. But also, you know, one of the things that I do, and I use SEMrush, I use a bunch of tools, is I always end up going to the SERP itself and looking what's there with my own eyes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is how I started my slides, for sure.
So it's important, I think, to remember that, well, you do want to, if you want to do things at scale and you want to do things with ease, so you're going to need a tool to do that. But even if you are doing that, it's always really important, I think, to go and take a look at what's actually, what the results page actually looks like. What other features are there? What other, are there ads, local packs, direct answers? What is just, get a feel for what's there. Take a look at the competitor sites themselves. Always take a look at the competitor site. What's their user experience like? How does their page look? How does it feel? how are they structuring their content? All of these things are very holistic, but they're really important. And no matter what you do, the best practice is always, yes, use a tool, and always check things out at the same time on your own, so you can get a real qualitative understanding of what's actually out there. So I know there's a bunch of questions about, do I have to use SEMrush to do this? No. You certainly can go and see who your competitors are. And even if you do use SEMrush, which I highly recommend, or another tool, it's very important to check that out on your own and see what it actually looks like. Anyway, every SEO will tell you this. I myself, when I look at my competitors or I want to see how Google's changing, I always take a look at the actual page itself.
I think the best tool is your eyes, the best tool. Like, really, you can identify everything that a bot can, just something that you need to keep in your back of your mind. But it just simplified my work. And I work with other tools as well, but it just simplifies my work.
So I wanted to ask you, when you see a site, because you mentioned before that they're doing paid advertising, whether it be display advertising or whether it be the actual advertisements on the Google results page itself. Does that mean that you should do that necessarily? Does that mean, like, forget my organic content? There's ads there. How do you go about that? And let's say I don't want to spend on ads.
If you don't want to spend on ads, that's perfectly fine. We're just going to see if my competitors are investing more in paid ads and not doing any SEO. So that's something for me to understand. Maybe that's opportunity for me to tackle more SEO traffic and just, but of course, I'm not a really big fan for Google ads, I must say. I don't know, as an SEO person, it's just like, I'm sorry, but it's just so expensive. And you can just basically tackle everything with SEO and just like a content strategy, evergreen content that sticks. And that's the best experience that everyone is looking for, not a landing page without it, click an ad.
Correct.
It's not the user. The buying intent is different. With SEO, you get like a really good buying intent. You're not clicking on ads. You search something and then you click from your own will on something that can give you the best answer to what you asked for. So
that's really like a different intent almost, right? It's like when you see, I don't think, don't be scared if you see an ad at the top of the Google results page, at the top of the SERP, because people know that it's an ad. Even though Google is pretty good at hiding it sometimes, it does still say ad there, and people in general are suspicious of ads. Like I myself, I don't think I ever click on an ad.
Yeah, me too. But I think just the two of us.
Yes, I think that's about knowing your users or knowing your audience. Are they an audience that's predisposed to using ads, whatever that demographic might be, or are they not? And if they're not, then you don't have to worry about it. And of course, organic traffic is always considered more trustworthy. Organic sites are always considered more trustworthy. I wanted to ask you about links, because I think links are really complicated. It's a little bit tricky how to get links. Google has a lot of guidelines about how not to go about getting links. And I think it'd be worthwhile to bring that up. You should not pay for links ever.
Nope.
So if somebody's trying to sell you links, run. It's against Google's guidelines.
I think everyone is getting those spammy emails, right? Hey,
yes.
I sell guest posts, and that's it, like spam.
Correct. It's even against Google's guidelines too. Hey, you know what? If I'll pay you to write a guest post, and I'll write a guest post for you, and we'll exchange links. Now, there's certain ways that you can go about doing this naturally, right? Making a natural connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Is fine. Like yes. If I say, imagine I have a friend who's a photographer, and he does photography at events, at weddings. So the wedding halls that he works at might list him on their website and give him a backlink, because they want, when someone searches for best wedding venue, they also want to know about photographers and caterers. So they'll have a list of recommended photographers. So if you approach that website and say, hey, wedding venue site, how about you put my link with your other photographers? I work here all the time with you. They might say yes. And that's a great way to make a natural, organic connection to get a backlink.
Exactly. There are a lot of natural ways to get a backlink. Also, if you can have a roundup with panelists, I call it, like, let's say, ego baits articles. There are a lot of good strategies around backlinks, and you can earn them naturally. You can create viral content. You can create infographics. You can create a video and place it on your website that can be super educational and informative, and something that can be real-time marketing also really works. So there's a lot of ways to get good backlinks, and backlinks that would stick, with, not something with no follow, things like that don't bring
Right.
it.
So that's really important to be aware of, by the way. If you get a link from, let's say, Entrepreneur or Forbes.com, Google doesn't follow those links, meaning Google doesn't really crawl those links or consider those links towards your backlink profile they don't consider that to be a full recommendation because there's so many of these websites giving out those links. It's not the same power. There's another point I want to bring up. Not every link has the same power. For example, if you are a shoe store and you have a link from, I don't know, from NASA. Well, NASA's a bad example. They're a high domain authority. But if you have a link from a business that has nothing to do with you and they're a really big website, versus a link from a website that may not be as big of a website or have a strong domain authority or authority score. Even though they may not be as authoritative, if they're more relevant to what you do, Google might count that link being far more valuable. In fact, Google just came out this week and said, hey, we don't actually care about the number of backlinks. What we care about is the relevancy of the backlink. So having 100 backlinks from a site that has nothing to do with your business versus a site that has, a lot to do with your business and having only 5 or 6 links in them might actually be more valuable.
Exactly. And this is supposed to be your strategy. This is to start getting those connections. They're real connections to get these backlinks to your site.
Of course, the best way to get backlinks is content, which brings me to the content gap that you talked about before. So you see that myself and my competitor, there are a bunch of keywords they're ranking for that I don't have content for. Maybe I'll create a blog and I'll start trying to target those topics. It's always important to think not just about the keyword itself, but think of keywords like topics you should cover. So for example, if you see, if you're a shoes website, and you see there's a lot of keywords about boots that you're not ranking for, don't try to rank for that particular keyword necessarily, but maybe you want to create a lot of content around boots that you don't have, whatever it may be. But where do you start? Because there could be a lot of gaps.
So a lot of people are ignoring the, let's say, if we have like a keyword gap, if we see a really low volume, like 10 searches averagely on US, so people might ignore it, just like, oh, it's not really competitive.
Right. No one's really searching for that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right.
But guess what? If you focus on these little wins, these are sometimes they can be like a sale. Like every visit can be a sale to your website, and you're missing a lot of money. So you just need to identify the buying intent. If there's a keyword that is like crucial for business, best shoes for woman after maternity. I don't know. I don't know, really. Just like if someone is looking for that, she's looking to buy a shoe after she gave birth, and that's it. Like you have it. Like this is your sell in your pocket. So just think of the business. Think of what can give you some conversions, and focus on these search terms.
Yeah, that really goes back to what I was trying to say before in the intro, that think about where you fit into this. If there's, we'll go with my shoe store example. If you're a shoe store that's something really unique and really valuable, so see where you can capitalize on that. And, I know we think about keywords and traffic, but not all traffic is equal. Let's take the pandemic, for example. If imagine last March at the height of the pandemic, and I am a travel site. I might rank number 1 for all the keywords in the world, but no one's traveling.
Exactly.
So traffic, and even with traffic, right? Let's say I bring people into my site, but maybe they're not people who are going to buy from me at all, ever. So it's not, I know it may be enticing to go after a keyword or a topic. Again, I like to think about keywords topically, that has a lot of searches around it each month. But sometimes it makes sense to go after those keywords that are more about where are you going to get sales from. And also it pays to diversify your keywords a little bit. In other words, Google's a little bit volatile, right? Well, more than a little volatile. And one day you might be winning with X keywords and there's nothing you can do. Google says, hey, you know what? It just might be that you're just like less relevant, or the topic has changed, or intent has changed. All the things that have changed that are really beyond your control. If you have another set of keywords that you can rely on to bring in traffic and optimize those a little bit more and up your traffic from those, that's in a way you might be able to pivot and stay agile, because Google is a changing environment.
Exactly. You might be surprised that some keywords are just like people are looking for informative questions. Like you can look, I don't know, for running shoes. for just for an example, this is not the case, but just for an example, and users are just looking for what is running shoes.
Correct. Oh, absolutely correct. But I did a study on this in 2018. If I remember this correctly, for more complicated products, think like something like technology, buying a laptop or buying insurance, 40% of the top 10 results, meaning 4 out of 10 results, were not sites where you can buy that product. They were sites where you can learn about buying that product. Fast forward to now, and some of those pages have shifted to being 60%, meaning 6 out of 10 results are about learning how to buy a laptop or learning how to buy insurance. And that does apply to simple products. I know you might laugh at this, but I checked this out. If you search for buy toilet paper, there is 1 or 2 informational results about this. I promise you. When I checked this out 2 weeks ago, so you might go there now and not see it, but that just goes to show you that if you have a blog, even if you're an e-commerce site, you can bring in so much traffic by going and talking about informational things. That brings me to my last question or last topic, 10x content. What is that and how do you create that?
Wow. I think the best practice for this is just to identify the niches, like small bites of everything. Like let's say let's stick with the running shoes, right? If I'll stick with the 10 best running shoes for etc., I'll go and drill down for the least searchable search terms. I want to rank first for this. I don't want to compete with Forbes. I don't want to compete with super affiliates. That can be really impossible for me as a smaller website. So I'm going to tackle the least, let's say 10 searches, 5 searches, 50 searches per month. That can be amazing for me because really there are not a lot of users, websites that are writing about these topics, and I can just easily rank. But I'm also looking at what are the search results that are there in the first place. So if I'll see like huge publishers that are ranking for this, even they don't have the specific content talking about the specific niche, so I'm gonna let it go, and because I will not be able to outrank them. So always look on what's ranking, and don't go for the highest competitive search terms, because it's going to be like a long-term strategy for you. If you want a quick win, try and tackle the least searchable search terms for that.
Correct. And it really goes back, SEO, it's also called search marketing. And there's a marketing element to this. And that's really to be able to have empathy, to understand your users, your target audience, really understand what they're looking for, what is their situation, and what would they want out of that content, and then provide that for them. And provide it really, I know content is the hardest thing because it takes time, it takes energy. But if you do put the time in, you put the effort in, and it's a little bit slow going in the beginning, so don't get discouraged. But if you keep doing that, you really understand your target audience, you can really create some amazing content.
Also, but don't forget conversion. You can create amazing lists, but nothing that will just go to other brands that you're mentioning, or just eventually won't buy anything. Just remember to put CDAs, to pull call to action, to serve fast pages, loading time, create the best experience, the best design. It's your users. There are your guests in your home. Make them feel comfortable. This is always something that you need to remember.
Look, and that's why Google always says the advice is always create great content for your users. And that's really true.
It is.
So the last question I want to bring up is keywords. And it's a really hard topic, believe it or not. How strongly do you focus on keywords when you create content? Or will you go after, you see there's a competitor and you see what they're doing and you see what you're doing and you see maybe there's a gap or maybe there's room for improvement or maybe there's a new opportunity here for you? How do you think about keywords? Do you put your keyword everywhere? I know you don't. But.
Basically, if I'm going to, let's say, writing a brief to my writer to write something for me, I will never give them my let's say my true keywords or something like that. It should go naturally. If the post is not really talking about my topic, so it won't mention my keyword anywhere, Correct. But if it's naturally talking about it, it's going to be there. Because Google is smarter, It's not like 13 years ago, 12 years ago, this is what I used to do. Yeah, I would spam a website. Like if you ask my mom what I was doing for my career, like, yeah, she's spamming Google. Like this is exactly what I was doing. density, calculating things and everything. But today, Google is super smart. It doesn't really need everything. It doesn't really need to know the exact keywords that you're placing. So
Correct.
I would just tell my writers, just write naturally.
Yes.
I will just optimize a little bit page titles, headings if I need to, but not over optimized ever.
Right. I mean, and on this point, look, if you're writing content that's really good content, so what other words are you going to use besides the words that describe what you're talking about?
Exactly.
So
it should go naturally.
Yeah. So write naturally, think about what you're writing, and we're going to end it with this. Liraz, thank you so much. This was so informational and so enjoyable to talk to you.
Thank you. It was my honor.
Have any questions, please? I'm on Twitter at Mordy Oberstein. If you have questions about Wix and SEO, I am Wix's SEO liaison, so please reach out to me. And I really appreciate you coming, spending some time with us and learning a few things about SEO. And this is just the first in a series of webinars. Keep an eye out for more SEO webinars and another webinar next month. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.